Uh, I don't think we have like any little kids, so I'm just gonna tell a story. Um, yeah, it's just big kids, right? So I want to share a story. It's a true story, and it happened to this guy named Nikolai Panchuk. I probably said his last name wrong, but during the time when the communists took over Russia, you know how they had their gulags and camps, and they weren't very friendly to Christianity in general, not just like certain group of Christianity, but just Christians in general. They weren't very friendly to them. So this story is about an Adventist pastor who, when he refused to give up the list of the names in his congregations, because they had split up into smaller groups. He had a couple congregations of like 10 to 15 people each, and he refused to give them all their names up. The KGB, they sent him to a prison camp out in Siberia. And in that prison camp, it's a work camp. And once you're in Siberia, there's pretty much no way home. You're out in the middle of nowhere. So even if you escape, you're going to die because it's super cold and the wolves will get you, or maybe a bear, whatever's out there. So in this prison camp, he refused to work on the Sabbath because he's Seventh-day Adventist. And because of that, they got really angry, and they would torture him, and they would put him in a box. And this box was about 3 feet tall. Yeah, it's like a 3x3 box, and a little bit wider. So he couldn't even really stand in the box. He had to be sitting down the whole time on the floor, probably something like this or something in the box. And he couldn't, they wouldn't let him out to use the restroom either. So he was just stuck in the box for days at a time. And he kept refusing to work on the Sabbath. So he kept on not doing that because he wanted to honor the Lord the way that he understood how to honor the Lord. So in so doing, a couple years after that, an inspector came, and he asked the prison guards, why is he always in this box? Why is this guy always in the box? And he told them, how about you guys find a job he can do in 6 days and give him the Sabbath off? And so they found something. They made a deal that if he can get enough water for the prison camp and finish it early, then he can have Saturday off. But he had to finish all this work on time so he could have Saturday off. So he agreed to the new job, and he had to go down to some lake or some well, don't know what it was, and he had to bring water from there all the way back to the prison camp, and they gave him an ox to do it. And the thing about this ox is he was really lazy, and he didn't want to follow orders, and he's really slow, so he took forever. And it was like that from Monday all the way to Thursday, and on Thursday it's kind of like, oh no, I'm not going to finish on time. But when Friday came, the ox started to run. And on Fridays, the ox started running back and forth, taking the water. And now Nikolai couldn't keep up with the ox. And the ox got all the work done on time for the Sabbath. And it was like that every week from then on, that the ox would really take its time the first few days. But on Friday, it always started, echándole sus ganas. That's Spanish for really getting at it. So that's a miracle in this story that I want to share, that just like in, Exodus 16, I think verse 28 and 29, that God gave a double portion of manna on Friday so that the people can keep the Sabbath. So here, God was able to light a fire under the ox so the ox can get to work and help Nikolai. So even though his circumstance was very bad, God still heard his prayers and gave him a miracle. So that's the story I want to share.